baseball, basketball. Are they sports or are they places where fancy people get dressed up for have a dance? You might find out, and I don't know about that, with Jim Jefferies. Who would know?
Every week I tell myself I'm not going to giggle through the intro, and it's just not working for me.
Are they fancy places? I'm going to the baseball.
Yeah.
Why are you in an evening gown? I'm going to the baseball.
I want to pull back the curtain.
It's a military base.
I want to pull back the curtain for everybody at home. This is how that always goes. Jim goes, "Okay, I got it. I'm ready." And then we play the music, and then he says that. So, baseball. He puts a lot of thought into this.
Yeah, they're not planned. Yeah. They're not pre-recorded.
No, we don't have those written down.
Luis goes, "Are you ready?" You go, "Hold on, let me think of something." Okay.
I thought that was a good one.
It was good. Great. I think I'm just giving you credit for, just sticking on your toes like
Thanks.
that.
It's been a big week. We pre-recorded this episode 2 weeks earlier, so I'm going to only imagine what's happened. Trump at the moment is taping up boxes.
Yeah, tomorrow Biden comes on in. They got to fumigate the place. They're gonna have.
Right now, Trump is squatting over the presidential bed having a shit.
Well, I think they get rid of that. I was thinking about that.
He's putting the sheets back on. Don't have to change them. I already cleaned them.
Yeah, either that or we've all died in a nuclear.
He's leaving the note in the desk. You lost the election. Suck a dick. Yours truly, Melania. Put that in the drawer. Written in crayon.
He said he's not attending the inauguration. That's what he said. But
COVID risks.
Yeah. But I wonder about the letter. They've always left a letter.
They've always left a letter.
He's got to leave a letter.
Because that will be the thing. That'll be in the history books that he never left a letter and everyone else left a letter. We got any actual footage? We got any pictures of any of these letters?
Yeah, you can read them all.
Yeah.
Oh, you can read them all?
Yeah.
You can read the one Obama left for Trump. They're all nice. They're all like,
super nice.
Hey, the country's in your hands. Even Republican the Dems and Dems the Republicans are always like, go get him, champ.
There's like a huge level of respect when they pass the torch.
I would leave a note that would go like this. Okay, the shower's a bit tricky.
Left is hot.
Turn it all the way to hot and then back it off just a little bit. But if you back it off too much, it gets freezing cold.
They really need to fix that. Taft has been talking
Everybody knows how to use their shower perfectly, and no one else knows how to use home showers.
Very accurate.
I'm online right now. You can see every letter, the handwritten, typed ones. Whatever. Yeah. So, anyways.
Oh, I would handwrite it.
Some people handwrite them, and Obama typed his.
Yeah, handwriting's too personal. He wouldn't want to do that for Trump.
Yeah.
Lyndon Johnson wrote, word of advice, don't ride around in a convertible.
Oh, wait. This one that's typed is from Bush. I don't know. I'm reading the wrong one now.
Borf.
You can find them on there.
Borf.
Anyways, Jack.
What's up, Jack?
What do you got for us today?
Life Hackets. It's back.
I'm so excited.
By the popular demand of Jim.
Oh.
Life Hackets. Here we go.
Oh,
all right. Good. I like it.
Who sent that one in?
How long ago?
This guy named John Hackett. Very strange.
Wow. Very similar.
I always find it funny that your name's John, and then you tried to call it up with Jack.
No, I think it's so they didn't get him and his dad confused.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The age difference.
Who could tell the difference?
All right. Life Hackett number 1. If you're a guitar player like me, always keep a guitar pick in your wallet in case you come across a guitar in the wild and there's no pick around.
This is fucking terrible advice. It's the guy at the party who's like, oh, a guitar? I'll play. And you're like, fucking stop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you don't have a pick, a coin will work.
Hold on a second. How many Hackets have you given already?
That's one.
No, I know, but he should number them like going in order.
I know it went slow.
Pay attention for it.
No. I mean, he did 3 before, right?
Yeah.
I think
So
I
there
did
should
4 before.
So this should be number 5. It should be a running list.
He has 4 now. This is season
5.
2.
Yeah.
Season 2.
Season 2.
Episode 1. Season 2, episode 1. It was a big cliffhanger on the T-shirt from last time. Now we're going into the new episode. What have you got for us? You got to excite the fans, keep the fan base going, pick in the wallet.
Woo! Oh man!
Right. Next,
channels have been turned.
Your socks off. All right, you know those plastic grocery bags you get at the grocery store?
No, explain.
I know the paper ones. What are the plastic ones?
Well, they say paper or plastic. When you get plastic and you have a bunch, don't throw them away. Keep them and use them as liners for your waste baskets.
Yep.
Everyone does that. Everyone does that.
Not my house.
Your third hacket better not be. They're good to pick up dog shits with.
No, you get the doggy bags for those. Those are too big.
Yeah, you buy them, you put them in your big plastic bag, and you leave the store. Everyone reuses those plastics. My dad was very upset when they're getting rid of the plastic bags. You can't fucking, they don't give them to you at the supermarket. In Australia, they banned them, right?
Oh, yeah.
In California, they did, I thought, right?
Yeah,
They're back.
And so my dad was like, they say people don't use them again. I've used every single one again.
Yeah, I keep them all inside each other under my sink, and then I use them for liners.
They had ones that were meant to, over time, they were meant to disintegrate into sort of dust type of thing, right? They'd still exist.
Made out of cornstarch.
Yeah. And so my father, this is the early 90s, they invented these ones, and my dad put a plastic bag and a regular plastic bag, the litmus test. He had two of them. And he put them under bricks. So they were dangling out so they wouldn't blow away because they're plastic bags. And then he went out and checked on them all. And he reckoned they were pretty close to each other. and it wasn't that much of an advantage. So that was science, everyone.
I respect his political opinions a lot more now, knowing he's doing scientific experiments like that.
I put little army men on them and they use them as parachutes and throw them into the LA River.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's fun.
That's pretty good.
Find their way to a turtle.
I thought you did this as a kid in Florida. You're doing it in the LA River. You've only been living here for 8 years.
I was kidding. I was I'm littering.
All right. So let me recap for the audience at home. At the moment, you better be writing these down. Keep a pick in your wallet and reuse plastic bags to hold garbage in your small trash can in your bedroom.
The best part is before we started recording, I said, "Are you nervous?" And you said it can't go as bad as it went the first time, but we're not on a good track here.
Everybody,
far, this is so much better. I feel so much better about myself.
You know what I do with my plastic bags? I scrumple them up and put them up my nose for a nosebleed.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
It is a bad idea.
It doesn't absorb anything.
Bad ideas on Life Hack It.
I can only remember 2 of the last 4 was the T-shirt and the nosebleeds.
Yeah.
T-shirt, nosebleed.
The other one was
drink a Coke with spicy food.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And the other one was
tape tab.
Oh yeah, tape tabs.
The other one was when you eat soup, use a spoon, not a fork.
And it was fold the tape over. Fold the tape over.
Fold the tape over.
These will all be on our Instagram page if you guys forget that.
That's one of my favorite Noel Gallagher quotes. If you ever have a look, he's a very witty man. Just look up his quotes. His favorite quote was when they asked him about his brother. They said, "What's your brother like?" And he goes, He's like a man living in a world of soup holding a fork. It describes a human being, like the frustration and the anger.
Such an insult disguised.
All right, number 3.
Next, if for some reason you move into your house and you don't have a wine opener, which happened to me.
By screw tops?
Huh?
By screw tops.
No, you don't have that. And you have a cork in your wine bottle. How did you get it out? Well, since you just built furniture, you have a screw gun and screws and probably a hammer. So you drill in a screw to the top of the cork and pry it out with the back of a hammer.
It'd be less time to go buy one.
Yeah, it does work. I used to use high heels in college when we didn't need it. We would just stick the heel into it and you push the cork in, but whatever. We were
but
fucking
then you get
poor.
corky wine.
I'd just get the cask wine.
Don't you drink cranberry vodkas anyway? I've never seen you drink wine.
Yeah.
Well, other people drink it, and I had to figure out how to open it.
And so he used a screwdriver against glass.
A drill.
Yeah.
A drill. Electric drill.
I feel like the hammer.
Look, in my defense,
and the next one is...
I looked up life hacks just to get inspiration for what a life hack is because I did it wrong. And this one did pop up. So I'm not the only person who's done this life hack.
Yeah.
Were the rest of your hacks on the list?
His next hack is if a friend of yours has shards of glass in their throat.
Call 911.
Use shorter screws. This last one I learned from a mentor in the world, Tommy Caprio.
Oh God! Oh God!
Boy.
I'm so nervous.
If some foreigners come into your country, what you do is you build a wall.
Make it tall.
He calls this Tommy time, okay? And it's when you go to IHOP, and you know how they have 4 different syrups at IHOP? Ask for 4 ramekins so you can put the syrups in the different dishes. So you can dip and use them all. You don't have to commit to one that you pour on top of your pancake.
Can't you just pour a little bit at a time?
Yeah, but they have all.
Why would you do that? It seeps and spills everywhere. You have.
Why would you want those 4 flavors? Also, the only good one's the maple. The synthetic sort of raspberry one they have. Oh, the butterscotch one's all right.
Wait, you dip the pancakes into the ramekins?
Mm-hmm.
Right. IHOP aren't going to be happy about that. Yeah. Why do IHOP have ramekins? What are they making, souffles?
No, it's
It's
for
like what they
any
put,
of
like, hot
like
chocolates and coffees on.
ketchup or
Yeah, those little.
Okay.
Well, Jack.
Well, Jack, that was very good. Very good. You had a month to think of those.
Well, we didn't end shirtless this time, so
There's
It's
still
okay.
time. Jack, take your shirt off.
No, at the moment he's pantless. he's sitting at home just with his dick out. If you're having a wank and you don't have lube, just do it.
yeah, who needs it?
Life hack.
Use a guitar pick.
Hey, can you do something for me right now? Can you pull a guitar pick out of your wallet?
Yeah.
Oh God! Oh, he lives by the rules.
Is there a condom in there too?
I have 3. I have
3 guitar picks?
I have one that's Pink Floyd Wish You Were Here
Wish You Were Here,
themed.
that's good.
And then I have a yellow and black one. Oh, I guess this one is Sloppy Joe's, which is a bar in Key West.
Is this in case there are multiple unspoken for guitars at a party?
I think I've just collected these
When were you at Sloppy Joe's?
when I was in Key West.
Yeah, I know. When were you in Key West? I know where Sloppy Joe's is.
Spring break.
I don't know, like 8 years ago?
Yeah, that's when you're
Did you ever go on spring break, Jack?
No, I stayed here. I went to Universal Studios when no one was there.
Ah, good work. I always used to watch TV, American television, and I was fascinated by spring break.
Yeah.
You're all going to spring break. In Australia, we have a thing called schoolies. Schoolies, which
Of course,
is
it ends in E's.
yeah,
Schoolies.
fucking schoolies. And you go up to the Gold Coast, you go up to Goldie
Yeah.
for schoolies,
Yeah.
and you all get fucked up. But we can do it at 18. We're not like you stupid Americans.
Well, we still drank.
I know, but I'm telling you, you could bring down like frat culture and all those
Totally.
problems that happen if you have an 18-year-old, because people wouldn't be having house parties that get out of control. If you can go to a bar, when I went to a bar when I was 18 or 17, like underage, I had to fucking watch myself because someone could punch me in the head because I was acting like a dickhead because
Yeah.
I was 17 or 18.
Yeah.
Right? Some 25-year-old could look at me and go, what the fuck are you doing, cunt? Right?
Yeah.
Where if you're all partying at fucking 18 and like the oldest person there's 19 or 20 or something like that, there's nothing.
Yeah, I started drinking pretty young, and by the time I got to college, it's like you know how much you can handle, you know before you're gonna black out or get sick, and everybody else is just a fucking mess.
I didn't go to frat parties. I had a fake ID. Went to bars.
Yeah, but was your fake ID working when you were 17?
No. We didn't.
No, I had a fake ID that was working when I was 16. I used to use my brother's expired license because we looked a little bit alike because we're brothers, you see. And I would use his expired license and I'd go out drinking with him. He was like 21 at the time. And we would just walk in with the same ID next to each other. Just 2 different bouncers. They'd never put it together. And the big trick was for any of you young kids and you're listening right now, how do I use my fake ID? I don't know if it still happens, but know the star sign of the ID that you've got. That's something they'll ask. And I don't know how I'm not sure if these bouncers have actually memorized the star signs, but you just have to
say something confidently.
You have to say Capricorn. Yeah. You have to say it confidently.
Yeah, I had a fake ID with a girl from the basketball team. She was also 6'2" and blonde. And I think we didn't look alike at all, but I think the idea that there would be another 6'2" person.
It says you're 6'2" on the ID.
Yeah. So I think they're like, I've never seen a woman this tall, so this must be her.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
You can also do what I did, which is just not drink till you're 22.
Nope. All right, should we go to an ad and then introduce our guest?
Let's read some ads. Hey, everyone. I love poker. I like to play it. I like the ones that you use on the fires. I like all pokers. I like pokers. Texas Hold'em's my game. Have you ever watched the World Series of Poker on TV and dreamt of winning the big one like the pros? The official World Series of Poker app lets you play in real-time poker with poker fans from around the world. Just this world, not other worlds, maybe next year. Hone your Hold'em skills in virtual cash games and tournaments, play in casino mode to go up against the house, or connect on Facebook accounts and set up a virtual table with friends. So you can set up a game with friends. This is what I do. I get on the app. We all get together, especially in COVID, and then we all Venmo each other money. It's a workaround. Maybe this app doesn't, but you can do that. It's as close as to the real thing you can get without the $10,000 buy-in. Now, come to my game, $40. So I play poker about 3 times a week online. Love it. Do you play poker?
I don't know how to play, but I would like to learn.
I'll teach you how to play. Bring $200 over to my house tomorrow.
Sounds good.
I'll teach you 2 weeks from that.
The World Series of Poker app is a great way to improve your poker skills, and it's free to download. Costs you nothing, not like those other things. And you have to pay money. I'm sick of paying money for things. Tired of social distancing? Not me, but other people are. I love quarantine. Tired of social distancing? Now you can easily set up a virtual poker game with friends. And as the #1 free poker game, World Series of Poker always has tons of players online to match up against whenever you want to play.
Does it have those announcers? The same guys?
What's that?
The announcers from World Series of Poker, are they on the app?
Oh, not in the games I'm playing, but I'm sure they do things, yeah. Be on the lookout for all the crazy and fun events coming up around the holidays too. Best of all, you can get 1 million buckaroony chips as a bonus gift when you join today. What's your hold up? Download World Series of Poker app in the Apple Store or in Google Play or in Amazon. You know how to get apps. I don't need to tell you how to do that. And don't forget to use the promo code WSOPGYM. That's World Series of Poker Gym. WSOPGYM for 1 million bonus chips when you sign up. That's 1 million bonus chips when you download the WSOP app using the promo code WS. I got so close. WSOP Gym. Missouri makes fine jewelry for every day. Every day, whether you're going out for Christmas, whether you're going out on a regular day, whether you're at a funeral, Missouri has got the jewelry for you. Fairly priced.
Funeral?
Yeah, you wear jewelry to a funeral. You go in there with bare fucking arms and stuff. You might want to wear a necklace.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You maybe bought some Missouri product for someone who died and now you got it.
It's a shame about Ray. Then it'd be like, it's a beautiful necklace.
Fairly priced, handcrafted, ethically sourced. That's very important to me. We would not have the jewelry on this podcast if it wasn't ethically sourced and made to last. Pieces are minus the traditional markups. You're not paying that big bloody price that you pay at your bloody Tiffany's or your fucking Cartier or the guy Howard. Traditional jewelers launch seasonal releases. Missouri does limited edition drops every Monday of the year.
Oh, wow.
That's 52 motherfucking Mondays. You get different jewelry. Everything from 14 karat solid gold staples. Look at that. Imagine how your sheets would stick together with that. Imagine how good that would be.
I don't think they mean those staples.
Oh, no, I'll read that again. Everything from 14 karat gold staples to sterling silver, pearls, diamonds, and even wedding bands for you and or them. New men's collection, pieces for friends, partners, and, well, anyone also. Find the perfect gift for her at Missouri. They've taken the guesswork out of gifting. Shop their gifts under $150 or make it personal with an engraving. So, you can write into my loving wife, to my best friend, to whatever. You can write whatever you want. Probably a swear word or whatever you want.
I got something for my girlfriend.
What did you get for her?
I have to read it because I wouldn't remember.
Did you engrave it?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that's because you can't spell her name.
No, but it's an earring. It's a single colored
an earring.
Hoop. Yeah.
An earring. What is she? A fancy guy from the 80s?
No. It's a single hoop thing that she.
I think you get 2 earrings in the set though.
Yeah, you get 2.
You do?
You get 2.
Yeah.
Oh well, this is what I thought she would like.
Well,
I told her it would be not good by Drew, but I'm sure she'll like it.
If you like Forrest, and you may have bought the wrong thing.
No,
Don't worry.
I bought the right thing.
Yeah, no. Check out their curated gift guide. They take care of the rest. Gift wrapping's included.
Oh, that's good.
I get gift wrapping on things even when I'm just buying it for myself.
It's Christmas every day at your house.
Bit of fun. It's free. Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Got to keep those gift wrapping companies in business. If they go down, the economy goes down. Great free shipping on all US and Canada orders, plus easy returns and a 2-year warranty. You won't need the warranty because then it's jewelry. It's going to be fine. But if 2 years, who can ask for more than that? Visit missouri.com/IDK. I don't know what that means. IDK. I don't know.
Yeah,
there we go. For 10% off your order. That's missouri.com/I don't know. IDK. For 10% off your order.
Now it's time to introduce our guest. Please welcome to the show, Guy Hutchinson.
Hello, Guy.
Hello, I'm happy to be here.
Okay. This is the part of the show where we have a drop. Oh, we have it.
Yes, though.
Yes.
Yes, though.
All right.
Yes, though. Judging a book by its cover.
Okay. Never gotten that right ever. I always step on the drop. I'm like, we don't have it. Here it goes. All right. All right, Guy. Jim is going to try and guess what you're here to talk about by looking around in the background there, asking you some yes or no questions, and I'm going to give him some clues eventually, and he'll probably not get it. Maybe. I don't know.
All right. Did your brother sing a song called New Sensation?
No.
You mean NXS?
Yeah, I thought he might have been Michael Hutchins' brother.
So here to talk about NXS?
Yeah. That would be a good episode. People would love the NXS episode.
About the bitter brother that wasn't successful?
Well, I actually know what his brother looks like because I remember the funeral. But I thought it was better to go in with New Sensation than going, did your brother hang himself whilst wanking?
Allegedly.
Well, that may be.
That could have still.
And then if it turns out it is him, I'd be like, woo, we have a tense 40 minutes. All right, so you're not the brother of Michael Hutchins. Fucking hell, that's a lot. Okay,
Is it Hutchins or Hutchinson, Michael Hutchins?
Yeah, that's
It's not even the same name.
Michael Hutchins.
He's the son of
Hutchinson.
Michael Hutchins.
We don't even have the same
Yeah,
name.
Hutchinson.
Hutchinson.
Was it Michael Hutchinson?
I
That's
think-
Michael Hutchins.
Yeah.
He's Guy Hutchinson.
Hutchinson.
Well, you want to change it. You don't want people making wanking jokes.
That's right.
Yeah, you got to change your accent, everything. He's got to do it.
Yeah. You throw people off with a Chinese vase. That's is it something to do with Asians? Your
No.
specialty? Okay, well that's
No,
the
I
only.
went out and bought the vase just to look fancy for you guys.
Oh, what dynasty is that vase? Do you reckon?
The TJ Maxx dynasty.
Ooh.
It's a Chinese vase on top of a Greek column. This is a very multicultural man.
To be fair,
right.
I think Asian people do really love this topic.
Sure, I think everybody loves
Yeah.
it. Everybody loves this topic. I mean, not
I've just
everybody in
seen
the
a lot of
world, but
pictures of
every culture, I would think, or every ethnicity likes this stuff.
10-pin bowling.
What is it?
Bowling.
Oh,
Bowling.
Bowling.
10-pin bowling. Why would you say 10-pin bowling?
he was so
Oh,
confident.
that's
too.
what we call it in the rest of the world. We call it 10-pin bowling.
No.
You just call it bowling. We call it 10-pin bowling.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No.
that's the only thing the whole world agrees on. I bet you they're fucking 10-pin bowling in North Korea. I bet you, without a shadow of a doubt, there's a couple of bowling
I don't think there's
alleys.
going to be bowling anymore.
No,
after all this COVID shit.
I know bowling lost out
Bowling's
worse than anybody.
dead.
Yes, we have an activity where you share shoes and we put your fingers in the same holes as everybody else.
And then eat nachos with the same hand.
And then we give you finger food. That's right. We give you finger food while you're holding other people's objects. Sorry, 10-pin bowling.
Guy, would you agree that everybody in the world probably, not everybody, but every culture or country
Every
likes,
culture, absolutely.
yeah.
Is your specialty an activity?
Yeah, I would say it's sort of an activity. Yeah.
Is it a sport?
No.
Is it like a mind thing, like a crossword or Sudoku? Sudoku? Are you Sudoku?
No.
How would we fill an hour episode?
Yeah. So no numbers in the same row, right? Okay.
Was
Now
it
for some
named
ads.
after a woman called Sudoku?
Okay, let me give you. I don't even know what to hint. You got any hints here? I always give bad hints because I give it away.
There are multiple facets of this topic. So there are places, there are things, there are characters.
Yeah.
Oh, Dungeons and Dragons.
No, I thought you were gonna get it with that.
There's multiple characters.
Characters, places.
So is your specialty an act of fiction?
It contains a lot of acts of fiction.
Can be fiction, but there
Movies,
are real
music.
places.
Physical,
Yeah.
real.
You can go there. You've been there.
been there.
Your specialty is New Zealand.
Yes.
You've taken
Well, how are we going to fill an hour?
You've taken.
So
my
sheep, you
nephews there.
say? I've taken your nephews there. The water park. No, Disneyland.
Disney.
Disney.
I've only taken one of your nephews there.
Yeah.
Evidently, I've taken both of them to the water park. I've never taken. I've taken Jack because Jack. I remember we lost Jack and Hank at Disneyland. Me and your brother.
That's why you're not allowed to take him to Disneyland.
Yeah, and we had to walk around going Jack, Hank, and it was like we were looking for two old men with dementia.
They're just 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
All right, let me introduce Guy. Guy Hutchinson, host of the Drunk on Disney podcast, also the author of Bibbity Boozity Book, a cocktail guide with Disney-themed drinks and toast. Sesame Place, the official book about the history of the Sesame Street theme park. Both are available on Amazon, Walmart, along with other books he's written. And I'm sorry, I already said that. On Twitter, you can find him at Guy Hutchinson. That's GUYHUTCHINSON.
The Michael Hutchison ride, not good. Not good.
You're suspended in the air for such a long time.
They had it there for a while and they got rid of it, put Pirates of the Caribbean back in.
Guy, could you tell us a little bit like how you...
Put a moustache on him. It's Jack Sparrow. I forgot his name.
Sparrow.
If you blacklight the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, you'll see the remnants of...
Can you, Guy, can you tell us a little bit about how you got to be
of Coke.
an expert in or Disney or gotten to write books and a podcast? How'd this come to be?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a fan of Disney parks and other theme parks forever. And then when I had my own child, I took him to Sesame Place, which is a Sesame Street theme park. And I had gone there as a child, but not until I had a child. And there was a lot of stuff that was really different. So I started telling my friends like, oh, they changed this and they changed that. It led to me blogging about it. And that led to the park reaching out to me and saying, hey, could you write a book on the history of our park? So I got to go see their archives, go to other archives and look up information. I learned how to kind of archive the history of something. And I also, meanwhile, because I love Disney parks, I met a friend named Dana Snyder, who's a voice actor. He's does Granny on Squidbillies and
Aqua Teen Hunger Force, right?
Yeah. And we both love Disney parks. So we started doing Drunk on Disney, where we, talk about old Disney stuff and also would give recipes to some of the cocktails that Disney serves that are, specifically their cocktails. So we'd give recipes to that. And so since then, I've tried to fill my brain with as much information about the parks as I can.
Secret ingredient, sugar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had people all the time will say, what's your favorite Disney cocktail? I'm like, they're not really that good. They're, they're super sweet, drinks. But
so where's Sesame Place?
I don't know.
It's in Langhorne, Pennsylvania. It's just outside of Philadelphia.
Destination.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They have the gay district, Bert and Ernie.
They're roommates, Jim.
You want to go out to the dumpster and see Oscar?
Did you like when you went back with your kid? Did you still like it as much, or was that kind of?
It's wonderful, but it had grown so much. The idea when they built it back in 1980 was that they were going to build tons of these. They had an idea to build 14 over the course of like 5 years across the country. And they were all going to be these small little, not really amusement parks. They were these play places where kids had to do physical activities and learn things. And it had changed so much. I mean, it was just, I couldn't understand when I went through it with my kid. I was like, this, seems so much bigger. Usually things seem smaller than they did when you were little. It seemed bigger, and it was because it really was. And it's a neat place. It's still open, and they're building a second one out in California, so there'll be one in San Diego.
There you go.
All right, Sesame Place. My kid's too old for Sesame Place.
Hank will be old by the time.
I'm thinking of having another kid, so you don't know.
Yeah.
We might have a Sesame Place in my future.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna ask Jim everything he thinks he knows about Disney and like just the whole. Everything about Disney.
Just a quick thing on Sesame Place. Mm-hmm. Are you allowed to go there as an adult without a child?
They've never stopped me. So, I don't think... I know, like, Legoland, I believe, has that rule.
Yeah, and Chuck E. Cheese, too.
Yeah, Legoland's like this. No. And there's lots of adults that like Lego. Like, Jack would love to go to Legoland.
Yeah.
Jack loves Lego.
Oh, Jack on our show, Jack.
Yeah, Jack loves Lego.
Also my nephew, Jack.
I bought for Christmas. I bought Hank a Lego set, and I accidentally bought two of the same set. You know when you do that on Amazon, like, why did I press the wrong thing? And two of them arrived, and I was going to send it back. And I said, Jack, I go, Jack, return this to Amazon for me, right? And Jack just looked at the box like, oh, this is a good one, like that. And then I went, do you want it, Jack? You can. It was like $100 Lego set, and he goes, "Can I?" Like that, right? And I went, "Yeah." And so then I was making my Lego set, well, with Hank, right? We were doing it together, and then Hank, and then I go, "We got 2 bags left, Jack." And he goes, "I did mine in one sitting because I'm an addict."
Jack is Jim's 25-year-old assistant.
He's not here
Just
today.
to fill in the context of that story.
He's usually here. I mean, maybe he's listening in. I don't know. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna ask Jim everything he thinks he knows about Disney. I'm gonna prod him along with some questions.
I know stuff, man.
Yeah, I think you might know some stuff. Yeah. And then, Guy, you're gonna grade him 1 through 10, 10 being the best on 0 through 10 on his knowledge of Disney, accuracy of his knowledge. And Kelly's gonna grade him 0 through 10 on confidence. I'm gonna grade him on etc. And then we'll add them together. And you'll be one of various rodents. 21 through 30, Mickey Mouse. That's the best one. That's what you want to be.
Overrated character.
11 through 20, Chuck E. Cheese.
He's terrible character.
Yeah.
He's a fucking useless cunt.
0 through 10, Lemmy Winks.
Who's Lemmy Winks?
You know, watch South Park?
I have.
He's the gerbil.
I've been out for a few years. I watched like the pandemic special.
He's the gerbil. That's in the,
okay.
Yeah, you don't want to be Lemmy Winks. It's the worst one. All right, so let's start. When was Disney founded? And what were the brothers' names who founded it?
The brothers' names? Oh, I didn't know there was brothers. I thought it was just a guy called Walt Disney. I watched documentaries on Walt Disney. He was a funny
I just get questions from what I see on the internet. Guy will tell us if I'm right or wrong.
All right, well,
maybe I'm wrong.
Walt and Dennis Disney.
Someone was Dennis Disney is a better name than Walt. Dennis Disney is dope.
Seriously.
Yeah, and then when was it?
Disneyland was, oh God, so 1950s. California was the first park.
But I'm talking about Disney.
Oh, Disney.
We're talking about everything Disney. The animation.
Yeah, Disney was Steamboat Willie. And
that's not the question.
No, but that was that. I'm just saying that was the first thing. So I'm trying to gauge.
I'm going to ask you about that.
I'm going to say 19. He came back from the war, 1948.
Okay. What was their initial industry or expertise? Disney.
It wasn't animation to begin with. He liked to make little films where it was like stop motion, like special effects things where it looked like you were running really fast, or you fell through something, like turning cameras on side, like special effects.
So film and special effects. Okay. What were some of their earliest cartoons?
Steamboat Willie, which was Mickey Mouse just going whistling and fucking spinning a wheel around. And then but before Steamboat Willie, he had like another Mickey Mouse like character that was more like a rabbit that had longer ears, but it was the same sort of like head. It was a similar look to Mickey Mouse, but it was, I'm going to call him Randy Rabbit.
Randy Rabbit.
Yeah.
And then when was Mickey Mouse created and what was his original name?
Steamboat Willie.
Steamboat Willie was his original name?
Willie.
Yeah. Just Willie.
Yeah, Willie.
And do you know what year he was created?
1952.
Okay. And what was Disney's first sound cartoon called?
The first motion picture?
With sound. The first cartoon with sound.
Oh, I don't know. I know the first motion picture was...
Can I just help you out? You do know it. You said it 10 times.
Snow White and Seven...
Steamboat Willie.
Steamboat Willie.
I'm giving you this.
Okay,
you said it so much that you would be mad if you...
Snow White and Seven Dwarfs was the first major
that first feature length. Is that what it was? Okay, yeah. That was my next question. All right. And when was Disneyland open in Disney World?
Disneyland was open in the late 1950s.
Okay. Disneyland? Late 1950s.
No, Disney World didn't open until after Walt was dead.
What year?
He'd already had all the floor plan for it. He had it all worked out. He bought some swampland in the middle of in Florida, which turns out is the only land you can buy in Florida. And he bought basically Orlando, which is a little nothing town, and all the stuff around it so he could expand it. And he had an idea that like the world would be it would be a utopia, a future world, and this and that, and there'd be all this underground stuff as well.
Okay, so that's my next question. What city is Disney World located in?
Disney World is located in Orlando.
Okay. How big is the land area of Disney World?
I know that the land area of Disney World is so big that you can fit Disneyland in the car park. I don't know if that's an exact measurement, but that's a fun little fact.
Okay. Well, we'll leave it at that. What was the original price of admission at Disney World?
A tuppence. and then
one tuppence?
Yeah, it was one tuppence, and then you had to buy another tuppence in there to feed the birds. Tuppence a bag. Tuppence a bag.
No, I got it.
It would have been $4.
$4. What is it now? Do you know?
Now it depends on whether you got a monthly pass or whatever. The way I do it with a private tour, it's $3,500. but they buy the tickets on top,
for
and
the
you have to have like
5. I don't know if they're doing
no, just regular tickets. Like I want to say like $110 or $70. 110.
Sounds right. I don't know what it is actually. How many visitors per day does Disney World get?
Visitors per day. Does Disney World? Disney World?
It's Disney World, yeah. You can say Disneyland, Disney. I
think Disneyland gets because I had a private tour and someone told me this. I think it's 100,000 people at Disneyland a day.
Not right now, but yeah.
Yeah, not right now.
And World, you don't have any idea?
The World, let's double it, 200,000.
200,000. All right. How many employees does Disney employ? It's Disney.
14.
Wow. They get so much done.
Yeah, the workload is insane.
The Disney employees, I hear they're not paid terrifically well, but I would say worldwide Disney, when we're including like Hong Kong Disneyland and Paris Disneyland and all that type of stuff.
And movies and all
movies
that shit.
and all that type of stuff. I would say that they have 600,000 employees.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
More than 14.
Yeah.
Tell you that much. Have the theme parks ever closed, and if so, when?
Well, they have closed for coronavirus. I think the one here in LA is still closed, but the one in Florida is up and running.
Okay.
But the first time I ever went was because there was a measles outbreak. Remember when they thought Disneyland was ground zero, and Hank had been vaccinated, so I was like, "We're going to Disneyland." He was only like 2 or something, and he was like, "Whoa, I'll go with us, man, have a good day." There was no one there. It was the best.
Yeah.
So you want to go during a measles outbreak. Yes. Corona, not so much because we haven't got a vaccine yet.
But has it ever been closed before COVID? Has there ever been closed? If so, when? Like for a day or two? Or
yeah, probably for a day. I think it's probably maybe it's closed one day. I think it's open 365 days a year. I imagine there was something after the day JFK got killed. They shut it down for
kids
the day.
Don't want to see Mickey then.
Yeah.
When did Walt Disney die? And I'm not sure if this is real or not. Guy, you can tell me this. And what were his last words? I wrote that in there. Was that true?
It's sort of true.
Okay. We'll talk about it.
I reckon he died in 1971, and his last words were, "Goofy was overrated."
Okay, you don't like Goofy?
Or he went like this. It wasn't that Pluto was mentally challenged. It was just that Goofy was really intelligent. They're 2 dogs, and they hang out together. One was either Pluto was a simpleton, or Goofy was a genius.
Okay. There's a bunch of other stuff on here. I think what we'll do, guys, after we go through all these questions, we'll just kind of throw this stuff out. We can talk about it that way. It makes sense.
All right.
How did Jim do on 0 to 10 on what we asked him?
I mean, so overall,
yeah,
I think like a 7. There were some amazing answers, and some that were close and some that weren't.
Okay. So
I can tell you where his apartment was, where Disney's apartment was. It's above the fire. It's next to and above the fire station in Disneyland, just as you reach that main circle. I've been to that because the little private tour.
The tour takes you. Okay. Confidence.
Confident. I mean, he came in confident, so I'd give him an 8 on that. But believability slipped a little bit, so let's give it a 6 altogether.
6, yeah. I'm gonna make you make. You said you didn't like Chuck E. Cheese. You're letting me make. So for etc., I'm just gonna bump you up.
You didn't ask me the questions that I know things about.
I'm making you Mickey Mouse 10. You're gonna get a 23. Don't worry about it.
I watched the documentary on the brothers who wrote all the songs. And each day, one of them had to come in on a Friday afternoon and sing Feed the Birds, and Walt sat there smoking cigarettes going, these are healthy for me, right? Walt died of lung cancer. See, I know things.
Yeah, so you could, but you don't have to just go by the questions.
Yeah, every time I do that, you go, now he's doing that thing where he just says things he knows rather than answering the questions.
That's not what I say. It's when you take a question that and you don't even answer that question, but you answer it with another thing.
Yes. What's the best part about gathering for a sporting event? I know what you're thinking. Probably the sport. And you'd be right. But also, the snacks play a very important part. People don't want to come over to your house if you have shit snacks. You want to have the good snacks. That's how you keep your friends. And how are you going to keep the friends? Whether you're going to be watching the big game or not, there's a reason to celebrate. Butcher Box. Butcher Box is adding 1 rack of St. Louis ribs. They're the pork ribs. They're the good ones. 1 pack of bacon and 1 pack of pulled pork for free in your first box. That's about a whole pig they're giving you for nothing, for free. Butcher Box believes everyone deserves high quality, humanely sourced meat. Each month they send a box of the highest quality meat for a better price than the grocery stores. You go to the grocery stores, you bloody Whole Foods, you fucking go in there, you go to buy meat, at the end you're like, oh, I should have just gone out to a restaurant or had someone else cook for me. It's that expensive. Not with Butcher Box, which gives me more time to spend cooking and sharing delicious meals with my families and friends. And that homeless bloke who just wanders around my yard. Never be without something to cook for dinner because there's always meat in the freezer. You open your freezer, people go, oh, there's no food. There's no food in the fridge. There's no food in the fridge, Dad. We've got no food. I open the freezer, you dumb prick. Thanks, Dad. But I'm 7. You're telling me that I can't cook ribs by myself. That's true. All right, I'll get off the couch. 1 less trip to the grocery store and better and more affordable. Have you guys tried Butcher Box?
I've been a subscriber for 2+ years now.
Really?
I fucking love Butcher Box.
Really?
It's so great. Their filet mignon is like some of the best I've ever had.
Forrest?
I haven't, but I'm going to take some of Kelly's.
Yeah, we don't need to subscribe. We just go over to Kelly's house for the big game.
If you guys cook it.
You've had it for 2 years? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with it.
Was it from the old podcast?
I think I knew about it before the old podcast, but now I've been like consistent with it. It's really good.
Well, you should be because all their meats are free of antibiotics and added hormones. None of that stuff. Each box has 9 to 11 lb pounds. Is that read? Each box 911.
Whoa.
Each box has
911 of beef in here.
Each box has 9 to 11 pounds of meat, enough for 24 individual meals, packed fresh and shipped frozen and vacuum sealed so it stays that way, fresh. I can customize my box or go with one of theirs. Either way, I get exactly what I want. So they have the boxes there where they have, you can buy it with all these different things, or you can go in and customize your own one.
I do like mostly filet mignon, but they have lobster now, I think, and I need to try that.
I love lobster. Butcher Box is the most affordable and convenient way to get healthy, humanely raised meat. With Butcher Box, you get the highest quality meat around, it's about $6 a meal. $6 a meal. $6 a meal. You spend that at McDonald's and the meat there's garbage. And they even have free shipping nationwide, except for Alaska and Hawaii.
Yeah, got to be mainland.
Yeah, I'm going to actually go for other American territories, and I'm just going to make a guess. Guam, you're out of luck. Right now, you can get a free rack of St. Louis ribs, 1 pack of bacon, and 1 pack of pulled pork off your first box. That's 1 rack of St. Louis ribs, 1 pack of bacon, and 1 pack of pulled pork for free in your first box. Just go to butcherbox.com/IDK. That's butcherbox.com/IDK. Free ribs, free bacon, free pulled pork. What do you got to lose?
I asked Jim when Disney was founded. He said 1948, and he said it's Walt and Dennis Disney. Is that right, Guy?
Yeah, no, the dates are much earlier. So Walt Disney founded first Laugh-O-Gram Studios, and then his brother joined him to create the Disney Brothers Studios, and then they turned that into the Walt Disney Company. But the date you're looking for is around 1923.
Okay, so he fought in the First World War.
Yes.
Oh,
Now he came home
that's
from the
why I
war,
got
which
it.
is correct. When you said he came home from the war, I was like, yes. And then you said 1940s. I said, no.
And his brother was
wrong
not named Dennis, I assume.
He was not Dennis. His brother was Roy. And if you ever look at them, it's
Roy.
really Roy was the one that was not picked to be on television. I mean, it's like it's totally like all the handsome jeans and the mustache went to the one guy. The other guy has a bald head and
looking
looked
up Roy
like an
Disney
accountant.
right now.
Right. So Tom Hanks played Walt Disney, and Chad Hanks played Roy.
Oh yeah, he doesn't.
What's up, bro?
He doesn't. Yeah, he's not good looking. Yeah.
Yeah, Walt Disney was no water painter.
No, but like Roy is.
Yeah, Roy.
Yeah, Roy didn't get it.
Walt had like a mustache and a full head of hair, and Roy was
Bit of
just
whimsy
kind of
about
a
him.
dud.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Roy
Yeah,
was
because I know he picked up smoking in the thing, and I was thinking, well, of course it was the First World War. Why did I say the Second World War?
Yeah.
He died. Anyway, okay.
But Roy was the very financially smart one. And so Roy kind of helped guide Walt, because Walt would have spent all his money on, creating the next big thing every day. But Roy was really the one that helped make the company a success.
And their initial industry or expertise, Jim said film, special effects.
Yeah, he was absolutely right. They did do Walt did a lot of stuff where he would draw something and then it would, jump out of his, his drawing table. They did a lot of live action combined with animation. And so, yeah, no, absolutely. That was what he did very early before Mickey Mouse.
They were like an early Pixar, like with the technology and all that type of stuff,
Yeah.
where they weren't really making anything, but they were doing experimental stuff.
So Walt was like more of the creative thing is what you're saying. And
Absolutely.
Roy was
No, he was.
So
absolutely.
Okay, that makes sense then. That's why he'd be the face of it. Well, maybe Roy, like you said, maybe.
Roy used to come in and went, put some pants on the duck.
Only Vince. What were some of the earliest cartoons?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you jumped right to Mickey Mouse, and you did mention Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. I think
the rabbit, yeah.
Yeah. But they also had a series of cartoons that were very successful, the Alice comedies, which was a live action little girl interacting with cartoon characters. And it was, play on Alice in Wonderland. And they did multiple, about 10 or more of them.
So that was the first one. And then
I've seen a documentary on all of this, and it's all plastic back.
Well, you did well so far. You just missed the war.
Oswald the rabbit, right? The rabbit.
Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, yeah.
The rabbit.
And
They sell those ears at Disneyland, and they're always worn by hipsters. It's like, I don't buy fucking Mickey Mouse ears. I'm old school. I get Oswald the rabbit.
Yeah, I'm carrying my typewriter around with me. So, when Mickey was created, I don't even know. I didn't write it down here. But 1952, and his original name was Willie. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, it's 1928. Steamboat Willie is the name of that cartoon, but Mickey doesn't play Steamboat Willie. The title was just a play on a Buster Keaton film called Steamboat Bill Jr. that was out at the same time. So it's always very confusing that people assume either that he was Willie or the Steamboat was Willie. The original name that he had was Mortimer. Apparently, this is the story Walt tells, is that he named him Mortimer and his wife said, no, that's too pompous. You should name him Mickey. By the way, if you ever see Steamboat Willie, Mickey's really mean in it. He tortures animals throughout it. And in the end, there's a parrot that's laughing at him. So he throws a potato at him, then listens to hear if he's drowning. And when he is, Mickey cackles happily and the thing fades to black.
Really?
Holy shit, he's a serial killer.
I thought Steamboat Willie was just him
whistling
and spewing
They
the
only
thing.
show that clip. They only show that clip of him at the steering wheel.
Yeah.
That's his
Yep.
PR team did a good job. All the serial killing was under wraps.
Yeah, no, most of it is him like taking animals and using them as accordions and stuff. It's horrific.
Of course, it was World War I. I'm just remembering now, like
Still stuck on this.
yeah, I know because of course it is. Because I remember now. There's that one with Donald Duck and he's and the Nazis. And he's you've also seen that's a weird cartoon.
Oh yeah, yeah.
helping
We
the
had that in the
Nazis?
show.
Yeah, we had that in the show. Where we don't know if it's pro or anti-Nazi, who it was quite made for. But there were some very bad stereotypes of the Japanese in there. Look at it on YouTube and you decide.
Yeah. The Disney company did a lot of war propaganda stuff for the U.S. So they did a film called Victory Through Air Power, which is a full-length, mostly animated film about how we would win the war. So yeah, they did a lot of good war stuff. You can look online. Interesting to look back at.
Wow. And then Disney's first sound cartoon was Steamboat Willie, right?
It was the first one with synchronized sound. Yeah.
Steamboat Willie.
Yeah.
And he was killing animals.
He used them as accordions. I like that he throws a potato at a parrot and then it's like...
Not many people know that Mickey from Rocky was actually based on Mickey Mouse from some of the early work. I just love that make you eat thunder and shit lightning.
It's like the most recognized brand in the world now, and it started with that.
Yeah.
Peter would get involved. Some animal on animal cruelty. I'll tell you what about Peter. They never get into anyone else, any other animals when they kill an animal. They only get into us. When a lion eats an animal, Peter doesn't go, "What are you doing?"
Because lions don't have Facebook.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
The first feature length was Snow White. That's what Jim said.
Yeah, it is Snow White. Yeah, 1937, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Fucking hell, that far back, 1937. Okay.
Yeah, I remember when I was reading like how far back the cartoons must have taken forever to make these.
Oh my goodness!
They just painted the cells, right, or however they did. I don't even know what they did.
Tell me if I got this order right. So we go. I think I could do it right here. We're going to go Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Next, we're going to go Pinocchio. Okay. Next, we're going to go Fantasia.
Yep.
All right.
Good.
And then Cars 2.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Wait, what year was Fantasia made?
Fantasia was the third film.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, there was.
I'm trying to look up a list.
There was some there was a special effect on Pinocchio where he went underwater and they did like a thing that made it move like that. That was mind blowing to everyone. And then Fantasia was the one where he came in and he said, "I want to do things with music and light and this."
I've watched Fantasia. We used to watch it on acid. That's Fantasia.
Oh yeah, I was thinking we should do it on mushrooms.
Yeah. And I remember, I even to this day watching and stuff, the fact that was made that long ago, it looks amazing.
We got Snow White, Pinocchio, Fantasia, Dumbo, Bambi is their top 5.
Yeah, that was good.
First 5.
Yeah, I remember the first 3. Yeah. I did watch something. Something in the recess of my brain that remembers something.
When was Disneyland opened and Disney World? Disneyland, you said in the 50s. Disney World after that. No, you got that right.
No, the Disneyland opened after he died. Like
Disney
straight
World,
after
Disney World, you mean?
Disney World, because he never actually saw it finished. And so I'm going to say that was made in 1973 and Disneyland was 1956. There you go. What do you reckon?
I mean, you're pretty close. 1955 for Disneyland, and then 1971 for Walt Disney World. For context, though, I think you're interchangeably using Walt Disney World for the Magic Kingdom Park, but that's Walt Disney World is the name of the whole place, and then the Magic Kingdom.
That's what I do, though. I say Disney World.
Yeah,
for Florida.
No, that's what I'm saying. There were a couple questions that it was a little iffy because of that, but yeah.
Oh, boy, sorry about that. I grew up in Florida, so to me it was always like Disney. And someone had told me I didn't even know Disneyland.
He's like Swamp Thing.
I didn't even know Disneyland existed. I just knew about Disney World, and I would go there every year for my birthday. And we didn't have a lot of money growing up, so my mom would like save on a hotel. She'd wake up at like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., drive to Disney World, get to it when it opened. So we would have that whole day without like a hotel, and then we'd go around the park. We'd stay one night. We'd go to the park the next day, and then she'd drive home, and she'd get a speeding ticket every year. Remember that? Every year she'd get a speeding ticket.
Could have just bought the bloody hotel.
Why?
Because she got the speeding ticket. If she
that is true. Yeah, good point.
Just drive the right pace and have a nice sleep.
And if I don't know if this was a thing, but if it was your birthday, you got to ride in the front of the monorails. I did that every. It was a fun
they used
time.
to allow that. Yeah.
So you just tell them it's your birthday. They don't check IDs.
They don't anymore, though.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, no. There was an accident with the monorails a number of years ago, and so they no longer. That used to be something you could ask for. Anybody could ask for, and if you waited long enough, they'd let you do it.
They don't have monorails anymore, you're saying?
No, they do have monorails. They had a monorail crash, I want to say like 5 years ago, or maybe about 10 years ago at this point. And because the driver was killed in that, they said, we're not going to put anybody but our driver.
Wait a minute, how do you have a monorail crash?
Yeah. They had one of them was just sitting there and the other one was pulling in. It's
so
stunning.
there's a couple of trains.
Yeah.
I thought there was just the one train on a track.
It killed him just from one sitting there and the other one crashing into
just all
What do you mean just from that?
I don't know.
One vehicle smashing into the other.
Have you ever been on a monorail?
Yeah.
They're fast.
But it's been a long... Oh, I guess I was thinking it was like pulling into the station or something, like slowing down
They're
and bumping somebody.
They go... I mean, in my recollection, they go pretty fast.
I don't think they have good crumple zones.
Yeah, no. And the front of it is all glass. It's just like a windshield in the front, basically.
Yeah.
Because you used to go through that hotel, too. I don't even know what it's called, but that would blow my mind. Contemporary. Yeah. You go into the hotel. It's like, all right.
That would blow Forrest's mind.
I was 11 or 10. What did you have in shit kicking around Australia?
I'll tell you what we had in Australia. One day we'll do this.
Would you throw something at a kangaroo?
We had a theme park called Australia's Wonderland.
Yeah.
That was outside of Sydney. That had the first pirate ship that went all the way over. Like it did a full thing. Other pirate ships just I think they're everywhere now, but we had the first one that went all the way over. We're very proud of that. And it had a roller coaster that was made out of wood. The biggest wooden roller coaster in the world called the Bush Beast.
Yeah.
I've had sex with a few of them in my day. The Bush Beast, and then there was a little one called the Beastie, which was a smaller version of it, which kids that were a bit weak were like, I actually prefer the Beastie because it's a smoother ride. Get on the Bush Beast, you pussy. Anyway, and then we had, you have like Universal out here. We have Warner Brothers Movie Land. Yes. Right, Warner Brothers Movie Land in Queensland, and they had on the whitewater rafting thing about maybe 5 years ago. They had an accident where the boat flipped.
I remember that.
A whole lot of people died.
Geez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, so that sounds like a good theme park.
Yeah.
They also had an Alf ride there where Alf, the talking alien, was fighting the gremlins.
Wait, in Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. There was also a ride.
Wait a second.
There was also a ride in Warner Brothers Movie Land. I think it's still there, which was Young Einstein. You know that movie with Yahoo Serious? Yeah, where you walked on a slanted thing and it looked like water was going upwards and stuff, but everything was an optical illusion. You're like, oh, that's pretty good. Fucking pretty good. Enjoy that. They had one.
Alf was fighting the gremlins?
Yes, it's.
What is confusing about this? They're both like alien things. Alf was our friend. The gremlins weren't. It stands to reason that he would get in place.
They did it at two different parks, one in Germany and one in Australia. One of them had Alf fighting the gremlins. I think the other one is Beetlejuice fighting the gremlins. But yeah, the gremlins had to fight against another character.
That's awesome.
It's easy to fight against Beetlejuice. Don't say his name 3 times. He doesn't show up.
Beetlejuice was helping us. The gremlins are always the villain.
Okay. I don't know if Beetlejuice is helping us.
In Germany,
he was.
Like the Australians weren't silly like that. We had Alf.
That'd be ridiculous. We have Alf here. Hey, I'm 2 feet tall.
Hey, gremlins.
My spaceship. Okay. What city is Disney? I guess Magic Kingdom is it. What city is the Magic Kingdom located in? Orlando, you say, Jim?
Orlando, Florida.
Yeah. I mean, everybody says Orlando. Orlando's the major city nearby. It's actually a really confusing answer because Walt created his own government, which was called the Reedy Creek Improvement District. They're located in Bay Lake, Florida, but their mailing address is Lake Buena Vista. But everybody says Orlando, and that's I think that's a good
created his own government?
Buena Vista, the company.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So the own government.
Yeah, I'm stuck on that. Can you expound on that, please?
Well, they have, it's so they could have their own fire department, their own, it's so they could take care of everything and not have to be beholden to
just local government. It's not like the main government.
I know it's not the main government. I live here.
Haven't you been watching the news? They stormed the Magic Kingdom. They were all in there sitting in Walt's office, leaving notes.
Do they have the vaccine, the Reedy Creek? How big is the land area of the Magic Kingdom? I'm just going to replace Disney World Magic Kingdom for these. Jim said they could fit the car park. I'm sorry, the Disneyland into the car park of Magic Kingdom.
You can. I want to say it's 300 acres. The landmass, which I thought we were going to talk about for Walt Disney World, is 40 miles, which is just enormous.
You mean for all the parks?
For all the parks, the hotels, and all the open land that they have, everything.
It's mental,
the idea was Walt had built in Anaheim, and he found a nice area that he liked that was kind of quiet. And then next thing you know, all these, stores popped up and motels and everything else. And he said, I want to buy a huge parcel of land for the next one so no one else can just build right next to us, so we don't have to deal with any gaudy, only our own gaudy stuff. We don't want anybody else's gaudy
so you can
stuff.
have them. Is it true that the one of the original places at Disneyland they were going to put Disneyland was Chavez Ravine?
I've never heard that. He wanted to build it. He wanted to build it right across from his office, right across the street so he could walk there. But yeah, so you think they were near Dodger Stadium?
No, it was meant to be where Dodger Stadium is.
It may have been if it was early enough because, they built it in 55. So Dodger Stadium would have been built, I guess, a year before that.
It was, the Dodgers bought it out because Disney was thinking of Chavez Ravine. That made the drive easier.
Small though. There.
Oh no!
He wanted to build a very small place.
I can't tell you where it was based on. He loved Tivoli in Copenhagen.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's absolutely.
Yeah,
right.
we went there.
We went to Tivoli. Tivoli was the place, and Tivoli is a magical little square in the middle of Copenhagen. Which was very small, but it is. We went there in the middle of right before Christmas, and it was lovely snow and everything everywhere. And that was the park that he because there is a myth that Disneyland's the first ever theme park, and it's like number 7 or something.
Mm. Yeah, no, it is by no means the first one. Yeah, he had other things to look at and get ideas from.
So there was something. Yeah, I guess so. He bought all the land in Florida. That makes sense because when I was young, I remember when we would get there, there was nothing around there really because it wasn't exactly in Orlando like you're saying. It's just west of it, I think, and it's that area. I remember just that hotel we would stay at. It would be nothing there. It's like where the Florida Project that movie was. It's like where we'd stay in that area. But
yeah. And I mean, you turn through their gates, and there's always they try to have a nice big buffer. I mean, it's getting smaller and smaller now because they're building so many things there, so many hotels and whatever owned by Disney. Disney's building so much, but the idea was that you kind of really had to leave the world behind to get there.
Yeah.
But now you go there are the different shops and stuff. Like I stayed down at the Disney Pier area. And so do they pay rent to Disney to be there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. So the people who sell the flip-flops and all that type of stuff.
Right.
The Wetzel's Pretzels.
Yeah, I went there every year for volleyball championships. So we played at the Wide World of Sports or something like that.
Sure, yeah.
So we did that, and then we went to Disney World to try to pick up hot 15-year-old dudes.
Right.
How old were you?
This was last year.
Yeah, I was 27.
Yeah, that's where they're doing the NBA games, the quarantine games.
The bubble.
Okay, so I've been there.
You can pick up at a theme park when you're a teenager.
Oh, for sure.
That's a real thing.
That's where you go.
Yeah, because other groups of teenagers just walk around. I copped off when I was about 15. I made out with a girl at Australia's Wonderland.
Yeah. And they also had in the downtown, or I don't know if it's called downtown Disney, but they had all those clubs and stuff like that. And so you'd be at what seemed like a nightclub, but it's just all teenagers.
Right now, Jack's not here, but he's listening to
crazy.
the episode at home going, that's what you do.
That was Pleasure Island.
Oh, yes, that's what
Pleasure
it was.
Island. I forgot about Pleasure Island. Yeah, because when we were in high school, they would load us on a bus, and we would get there. They would let us have the run of the park, the high schoolers, after it would close, and that was
grad
fun.
night.
Grad night. That's what, I remember. It's all coming back.
Grab night?
Grad.
Oh, what do you think I said?
Well, it was. I think it was a little of both.
Yeah,
though.
it ended up being grab night.
It was a different time. Come on, kids, come out to grab night.
Grab them and hold them down.
Bring your masks.
No, it was like that though, because like you were saying, your hormones were we're on a bus. There's no parents. It's nighttime. We're at Disney. You're hey.
Oh no, I go to the Universal, and I've been to the Not Scary Farm. I do the Halloween mazes and all that type of stuff. And it was the first time I experienced Halloween was going to these theme parks when I came to America. I was like, oh, this is amazing. Americans do these big things, yeah. And then I go, do you get dressed up in an outfit or something like that? And the tour guide we had goes, we had to stop that because there was some problems. People didn't know who were employees and who, you're banned from wearing outfits to the Halloween thing because some people go, I'm a staff member, come with me.
Private tour.
what was the original price of admission? Jim says $4. Now it's $110. Is that?
Yeah. Well, he's pretty close with the 110. He was dead on, I think, with the 3,500 for the guided tour with the woman in the vest.
Oh, no, I know.
Yeah.
He's done it.
Because when I do it, I tell everybody that I'm paying for over and over how much it costs.
When I heard that, I said, well, you got to give a 10 on that. So when they opened in California, it was $1, and in Florida, it was $3.50. And back then, you would get a ticket booklet that you had to pay for. You'd pay for a different ticket booklet to go to the different rides. So the $1 only got you in the door, and then you'd buy a ticket booklet, and that's where the term e-ticket comes from. If you ever heard somebody say, "Oh, this is a e-ticket ride," it was because their tickets were A, B, C, D, and E. E being the most exciting rides, and A being something like a ride on the little car.
See, Tivoli still does that. They still do that. That's where Walt got it.
Yeah. And I mean, the price today, it fluctuates. But it's 110 is not far off. It's different. Like in Florida, the Magic Kingdom costs more than the other parks by about $10, and different times of year, it's more money. But, like he said, you can get all different types of passes and,
this is what fucks me off about the theme parks when you come in. Just have a price. Just have a fucking price.
Yeah.
You can have a year pass that you can buy online and show your year pass. The rest of the time, just a fucking price. Because every cunt who walks up to the fucking counter, right? Like the line should be moving. $100, $100. It'll just go through, right? But everyone's like this. So how many people you got? Oh, do you want an adventure fun? Right. Do you want a 2-park pass? Do you want an all-day pass?
You have to do like full research.
Yeah, do you want to think?
Out.
And there's always some family with like some pidgin English going, fuck. I've just come here from Germany. Fuck. I would like ride. I would like to ride.
Yeah, or maybe they should just have a German line. How many visitors a day does Disney World get? And then, Disneyland, and then the Magic Kingdom. Jim says 100,000. And
just quickly while you're on the thing, I went to Hong Kong Disney, right? Mm-hmm. And
when we were there, you went there?
I've been to Hong Kong before I met you. I had a life, and I went to Hong Kong Disney. I was doing gigs out there we were talking 15 years ago. And so I went there, and I went to go into Disneyland, and I got on the wrong riverboat cruise, and I heard all that in Chinese.
Yeah.
The jokes still work. The jokes still work. Oh no, the hippo. Ping, 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 ping.
It was just all all in Chinese.
There was another English line, and I can remember getting on the boat going, I don't feel like I'm on the right boat.
100,000 for Disneyland, he said, and 200,000 for the Magic Kingdom.
Well, 200,000 is about right for all of Walt Disney World, just for the amount of visitors on there. So it ranges, but and Disney doesn't release those numbers, but there's a lot of people that have estimated it's probably closer to 50,000 on a really busy day, at any of their parks.
They don't release the numbers, huh?
Yeah,
like Netflix.
They don't. So yeah.
One of the tour guides told me that they break even. All the costs of everything breaks even at 11 a.m. and then it's all gravy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know if that's right.
I don't know.
It could be. The thing about those tour guides and the Disney company in general is they'll tell stories all the time that aren't true. I mean, Walt would do it too. I mean, we were talking about, whether his wife really said Mortimer wasn't a good name. I mean, Walt thought it was a good story, so he told it over and over. And so the company, like if you take their tours, they'll throw a bunch of facts at you that aren't real.
I know this with the tours, right? When you go on the tours, they started putting pedometers on all the people, right? And it was like all the tour guides. So it was like, let's see who does the most steps in a day, blah, 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 for some competition with all this stuff. And the guy I was with was like, I'm fucking 6'3", and I'm efficient. Like I move through the park. Now I get in trouble because I'm not doing as good as a fucking 5 foot tall woman.
So he's walking like
he's taking more steps. He was really pissed about that incentive plan.
Yeah. How many employees? Jim says around 600,000 for the entire Disney World.
I think it's a little less than that. I think it's about 250,000, but and they've been going down lately, unfortunately, but by the minute. But I think it's about 250,000.
In the French Disney
for the whole. Oh yeah,
in the French Disneyland, they don't give a fuck, man. You can see characters without their heads on.
What do you mean? They're just walking around?
Yeah, just like I'm on a break, just
smoking
with
their head off.
No, but it's really laxed over there. It doesn't have the magic, the Paris Disney. It doesn't have it's real slapped together job, the Paris Disney.
Other than COVID, I asked him if it's ever been closed. He said when JFK was killed.
That's dead on. They were closed for JFK.
Wow, I thought that was wrong.
They did. They closed down in memory of JFK the next day, and then
they got rid of the bullet head ride.
The bullet train.
The Florida parks, they've closed down for hurricanes a lot, so they've had to close down over the years for that. And 9/11, I think they let people out early, but they didn't actually close for the whole day.
Yeah, and when they were leaving, they were like, "Never forget, come back." Yeah.
What do you mean they let people out early?
They closed early. They closed the doors.
Yeah. And do they give refunds on that? Did they?
They probably did. Yeah.
Oh, good.
People probably all were scared to death. And
that would have been a big tragedy if they did.
Asked him when Walt Disney died. He said 71, and said Goofy. That was the funny thing about Goofy and Pluto.
Goofy was overrated. It wasn't that Pluto was mentally challenged. It's that Goofy was really intelligent.
Yeah.
I mean, Goofy even has a kid, which means Goofy is procreated.
Goofy fucks.
And Goofy's kid can fucking talk as well. So
Who's
I don't
Goofy's
know.
kid? Who's Goofy's kid?
Max.
Max?
Obviously.
I don't know Max.
Come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Max is
Never seen a Goofy adventure?
No, I'm not
That's
a
a
big
great
Goofy
one.
fan. I didn't like Goofy. There's something about him. I liked Pluto better.
He is really codependent.
Yeah.
You don't have to like one or the other. Is Pluto mentally challenged, or is Goofy just really intelligent?
I don't know. I mean, I think initially Goofy, I don't think he was supposed to be a dog. I think he was more of a cow, but still, why does a mouse own a dog in the first place?
Yeah, why is this dog still subservient to the mouse?
It's a class war.
All the other animals get to have a thing, and then
maybe he's happy being a dog.
And Goofy's a cow.
No, I mean, he's something. The company says he's not a dog anymore. He's just a goof. His first character was called Dippy Dog, so he, clearly was supposed to be a dog then. But he looked a lot like Clarabelle Cow, which was a character they had at the time that they still have. But yeah, I mean, he's, I don't know.
And then I read this thing about Kurt Russell that his last words with Kurt Russell. Is that?
Yes. So this is sort of true, but not exactly true. It was not. So he died in 1968.
That won't even be Goldie Hawn's last words.
He died in 1968. It was, just a few years before they opened the park in Florida. So they had worked on it a little bit. It was going to be called Disney World, and his brother Roy said, "Let's call it Walt Disney World." Now that Walt is gone, to make sure everybody knows that it's his park. But the last thing he filmed was an introduction for the movie Follow Me Boys, which he talked about Kurt Russell in it. It was supposed to be people were supposed to go to a theater and see him introduce this movie, and he couldn't be there because he wasn't doing well. And so he recorded a filmed introduction. In that, he talked about Kurt Russell. So that was one of the last things he said. And then at his office after he passed away, and I'm sure his last words in the hospital had nothing to do with Kurt Russell. I don't think, it was not a wonderful way to go out. And so I don't think he was lying in there talking about Kurt Russell, but his notepad on his desk had it was like story ideas, and it had a bunch of just, random notes. And one of the last things on there was Kurt Russell.
Maybe it was a kill list.
Wrong. Yeah.
No, because
his last words were, "Where's my lighter?"
The thing about this is somebody told this to Kurt Russell, and Kurt Russell believed this and talked about it in interviews. So this is something that's established as a fact. But no, he wasn't. Lying there, taking his last breath.
Well, sometimes, because when people are about to die, I mean, they sometimes could just say a random, and if he was working with Kurt Russell or whatever, yeah.
Remake Citizen
He
Kane.
died from a massive erection.
Okay.
Kurt Russell.
There's some other things that we want to. Well, you've been in some of the tunnels, right, Jim? There's secret tunnels at Disney World that nobody's allowed, or.
I mean,
no, there's
when you take the guided tour, they do walk you in back. You get in through back entrances and stuff like that.
Oh, but no tunnels?
No, what they do is they drive you into this back car park, and then there's like someone waiting there with bottles of water and snacks. And they're just like, hey, do you want to like a snack? And you're like, yeah. And then it's like you're with your kid and you're like, hey, don't eat candy. And it's like, do you want like a chocolate covered Rice Krispie Mickey head? and you look at him like, yeah, have your fucking thing.
Jim, have you only done the tour in California?
I've done the tour in California and in Orlando. I've done both. I find I prefer Disneyland to Disney World. I find Disney World's just too spaced out. Epcot Center sucks dicks. I don't care what anyone says. You go there and you're like, okay, first of all, they have a display for Canada.
In the country section.
Yeah, in the country section. They're like, oh, here's, like, I understand, like, in the 1970s, it might have blown people's mind.
Well, it wasn't made in the 1970s. It was like, when I was little, it was like 80s.
Well, even then, world travel wasn't as popular or as affordable as it is now. But it's like, hey, is there an Australia land? Is there?
No, there is not Australia in.
Don't do Australia land. You don't do Australia land, but you fucking do Canada.
Yeah, I will tell you this. I know that you're making fun of Canada, but when I was a kid, we went to Epcot, and I always remember going to the Canada one and even then being like, Canada? I don't give a shit about Canada. Look, China was cool, Germany was cool with all the different.
I have many Canadian friends. I love performing in Canada. I'm a big fan of. I tease Canada a lot, and they always take it in good jest. I'm a big fan of Canada, but I don't need it in my Epcot Center.
Yeah, I don't think Epcot's aged well. I haven't been there in a long time, but I imagine it was like because it was supposed to be all the future land.
I remember liking it a lot when I went there.
They've got the Cars ride. It's a lot more simpler now. The Cars ride in California is the money. This is shit, right? And they have a similar ride, but it's just like, whoa, future, whoa, cars will be driving everywhere, right? And so that was kind of.
I haven't been there in years though. It's updated, I'm assuming, right, Guy?
Yeah, well, so that's Test Track, and that they modeled the Cars ride on that, but the Cars ride is way better,
substantially better.
But Epcot, they're actually, they were starting, all kinds of construction just before COVID started. So the last time I was there was in February, and they had like half the park was closed with construction walls because they're creating all kinds of new stuff. So maybe it'll be better for you next time.
You've got to go to Disneyland. Like the rides, it's arguably that Six Flags has better rides, right? The roller coasters and all that stuff. No one does the presentation or the experience better than Disney. Like that Star Wars world is fucking amazing. It's like you're walking in Star Wars. Yeah. It's fucking perfect. Now, the Millennium Falcon ride, no good. Just one of those ones where you sit there and you rock around a bit. Oh, no, you're going to get shot. I haven't done the other one. Have you done the new one with the lights?
No, it was because to get on that, when I went in February, you had to get there like at 6 a.m., look at your smartphone, and then, it would put you in a group. And you had to be in the park to click it, and then it would put you in a group for, like later that night to go on it. So I said no.
Well, when I went... Because I went there and it was on the private tour. It wasn't included on the private tour.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Well,
that's fucked.
How much you have to fucking pay?
Well, that's what because they're trying to get everybody. I remember when
I know now I'm losing fans by the second. Every time I say the word private tour, someone's sitting in their car going, fucking rich cunt. Fucking. No, I only go once a year. Like there's other people I know. Michael Yo and his family go weekly.
You're trying to deflect it to Michael Yo now?
No. I know a lot of people. A lot of people I know in LA, they buy the year ticket and they take their kids, twice a month.
Yeah,
they're going all the fucking time. I say to Hank, I go, no. You go once a year, mate. I think we fucking do it right, son.
I've only been twice, so it's like once every 10 years for me.
As a kid, I think it's good. I remember that leading up to my birthday every year and just being like, and then you would get there and it would feel fresh and new. I think it was, I don't know. That feels good that way.
I'm looking forward to my son becoming, like 15 or something, and then going there with his friends, and then just be like, "What the fuck?" He has to queue up for the first time.
Yeah. He's definitely been spoiled.
He's gonna go, "What the
40 minutes?
What the fuck? 3 hours to get on a car? We drove here."
So Jim, that was one of the things you just said. The thing about Disney World that separates it from other theme parks is just how well everything, even down to the lines and everything.
The lines
but the trash cans, like this is one of the things we looked up. The trash cans and the trash removal systems. Here's a question: how many? I don't know if this is right. I got this from the internet as well. But how many steps away I had from? Let me see if you know, Jim. How many steps? Each trash can is a certain amount of steps away always at Disney World.
I'll say 200 meters.
Okay, that's like 600 feet. Yeah. So how far is?
Yeah, no, they're about every 30 feet. And the reason is Walt said that was the amount of time it took somebody to eat a hot dog and then would need to throw the paper away.
Wow.
Fucking not for me.
Yeah. Jim needs them every 5 feet.
I'd be holding it for 20 feet like an idiot.
So every 30 feet, there's a trash can. Or at 30 steps. 30.
That's what they say, yeah. So, and they are. I mean, if you go there's trash cans everywhere. But yeah, apparently Walt's whole system of measurement was based on hot dogs. But yeah, and the other thing is in
the ashtrays are only
Kingdom,
10 feet away.
In the Magic Kingdom in Florida, a lot of the trash cans are bottomless, where there's pneumatic tubes that'll suck the trash out of them, and the rest of them, they all have sensors in them, so they're never overflowing. You know, when they fill to a certain point, the nearest custodian is paged over to them. And actually, the type of trash can that they have there, which you now see in every fast food restaurant, where it's a push and you push in and drop your trash, that was designed for the Disney parks because Walt didn't want people to see trash. Prior to that, trash cans were always open at the top. And so, it was, he wanted to devise something where the trash would be, have its privacy.
So some are bottomless and the other ones have a vacuum system, basically, that sucks.
The bottomless ones have the vacuum
bottomless
system.
ones have the vacuum system. The other ones, a guy will come over, open it, and take them out.
So you could get rid of a pesky child in there.
Yeah, that's right.
Super late term abortion.
Yeah.
Super late term? Yeah, the child's 4.
And this thing, I was reading about people spreading ashes at theme parks. They allow that, or is that not?
No, they do not. But I know somebody who his grandmother is there. They let her out. A lot of people like to do it at the Haunted Mansion, which is a bad idea because they vacuum that up, every day. So that means grandma gets put in a dustbuster. But
she gets one more ride, mate.
That's right. But I've heard of people, that they put it in a sandwich bag and, they shake it out, into the water there or whatever. And, your relative's there forever. Yeah.
I made out with a stranger when I was 15 on the Haunted Mansion ride. I made out with a lot of strangers when I was 15.
Strangers on planes.
I was such a lip slut.
Yeah, fucking Kelly was up for it when she was 15.
I just made out with people.
Wait, on the Haunted Mansion?
Yeah.
What?
We were getting off of Space Mountain, I think, and there was a guy standing there holding a sign that said free hugs.
You sure he wasn't that hologram that sits next to you?
No, I met him outside of Space Mountain. He was holding a sign that said free hugs, and so our groups of friends kind of got together and were hanging out together for the rest of the day, and then we went to the Haunted Mansion ride.
You're kidding. The guy was standing at the front with free hugs. I always thought that was like the joke about the people, the creepy guy in a tunnel holding a free hug.
We were all high schoolers. He was with his group of friends because it was like a choir competition that we were down there for.
Free hugs. And you went up and got a free hug?
Yeah. And
How did that work?
He was cute. It works if you're cute. Yeah.
You can't be ugly with a sign free hug.
Am I too old to do that now?
Yeah, I think you might be too old, especially at a theme park.
And too married.
Do you know who the Dapper Dans are, Jim?
Dapper Dans, no.
Yeah.
Are they like barbershop quartet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you know that? That if you didn't know,
just sounds like a fucking barbershop quartet. Did they fight Alf?
The Gremlins. They only fight Gremlins.
They're the Disney barbershop quartet. They're at all the Magic Kingdom style parks around the world, including Disneyland. And actually, in 1974, there was a musician strike in Hollywood, and the Dapper Dans were briefly the Tonight Show band for Johnny Carson. They replaced because they couldn't have any instruments.
So they sang the bad.
Yeah, that's what they did. Yeah.
So I always, whenever both places are hot as fuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
California, Los Angeles, Anaheim, and Orlando, hot as fuck. All I watch is and here comes the fucking toy soldiers from Toys, and they're painted green, and they've got these fucking rubbery outfits, and their feet are connected, and they're wobbling down the street going boom, 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 boom with the drum and all that type of stuff. And every time I see a fucking Pluto or a Mickey Mouse or something like that, I'm always like, fuck.
Imagine what the inside of that suit smells like.
Mm.
Well, I tell you what, the first time I ever went, I went with my son, the measles outbreak. And the place was really quiet, and they were just standing around. I know they're not meant to talk to you, whatever, but Woody came up and took a photo. Woody from Toy Story came up and took a photo with me and my son, actually walked up to us. And I was like, thanks for the photo, Woody. And then I just hear this mumble from inside the helmet. love the new special. He broke protocol for a second. I was like, awesome. Thanks, mate. And then I said, so how's it working here? I tried to have a chat with him, and then he just shook his head like, that's the sentence you get?
He was maybe
Shout out
to
that
Woody.
guy.
Yeah. And then this is the thing from Epcot, this rain. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't. So it can't rain off of that, or I don't. The spaceship Earth.
So
the spaceship
it's
Earth.
Spaceship Earth, which is the big ball that's there. They created a series of gutters throughout it, so that the water doesn't. If you're standing under it, the water doesn't, just pour down on you. And it's kind of ingenious because it rains in Florida a whole lot and heavy rain. And if they didn't have that, it would be, everybody that was under it would get soaked, and it's so big, that it would be, and the water actually goes right out to the lake. So, it's all,
Speaking of the monorail crashing, any other disasters of note?
Oh, yeah.
Good. What do you got for me?
One of the ones that we had talked about was Pirates of the Caribbean, which actually there's a story that there's a ghost there in California, and his name is George, and he's a guy that was working there before, and this part is true. He was working there, on the crew, and he died during during some kind of mishap creating that attraction. And so if they don't say good morning to him every morning, which apparently every morning over the PA, somebody says, good morning, George. Because if they don't, apparently the ride breaks down several times throughout the day. But there's been a lot of, really, anytime you have a place that big with so many people, there's been some real tragic moments. A cleat that was holding one of the ships in place popped loose and, killed a guy, while he was standing there with his family. There was a cast member that was crushed in what is now the Carousel of Progress in Florida because she tried to walk between the walls. And
it's just a funny name.
You're crushed in the Carousel of Progress.
Yeah,
it's funny.
I'm always a big one because my dad did this to me because us Nugent men are assholes. I do the one with my son where you go, I want to go on this ride. I go, they fixed it. The kid died last week. There wouldn't be 2 kids dying in 2 weeks.
Now,
probably is the safest time right after somebody died. Yeah.
As you're saying this, there's something I remember reading. Do they actually, if somebody dies on a car in a ride, they take that car out of service?
No.
Okay.
Well, no, they
spray it.
Sure,
down.
they clean
the blood.
But and they close. In California, Big Thunder Mountain, there was a accident where somebody was decapitated, where he, his restraint was kind of loose, and he stood up and hit as they went under one of the tunnels.
How the fuck did he stand up?
I don't know. But they closed it for, the rest of the day, and, they sequester everybody that was on it and, get a grief counselor in there. And, but they do open. There used to be a rumor that no one ever died on Disney property, which it's certainly not true today if it ever was, because, with all those hotels.
Try telling that to fucking George.
Yeah, that's right.
I once was on Tatsu on Six Flags. And that's the one where they sort of, you're like Superman. You're laying underneath the track and you're straight. And someone ran onto the track area. It goes quite low. Like a little kid ran on or something like that. And so they just shut the ride down. And I was dangling for, it was probably 10 minutes, but it felt like half an hour.
Yeah, that'd be awful.
And my blood was, I don't like the heights. And I'm just like looking out of the world going, oh God, if someone just presses a button, unlock. And we all,
Plus those rides are uncomfortable, a lot of those ones that strap you in, but you're like, I'm only going to be in this a minute and a half, so I can deal with it, but if you're stuck in it.
Yeah, I chat to the person next to me.
Hey, fun ride.
I got a great tip for you. If you're ever on a roller coaster and there's an open seat near you and there's a photo where they take your ride photo, just look at that seat and just look panicked and scared, or look up as if somebody had just flew out of that seat.
That's a funny picture.
Is it true that Splash Mountain, which I love Splash Mountain, I love log rides, they're my favorite, right? That for a while there they had to take away the camera because there was too much flashing?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, yes. They haven't taken away the camera. The camera's still there.
They stopped it for a while and they put it back on. There
were a lot of women that. Yeah, there was a website for a long time called Flash Mountain. It might still be up, but there was some employee that was. Yeah, but there were a lot of people that they'd pull the shirt up.
All right,
let them out.
Here's a part of the show called Dinner Party Facts, where we ask our expert to give us a fact that's obscure, interesting. The audience can use to impress people. You gave us a bunch. I don't mind going through all of them because we could. So let's do
number 72.
First one. The first one. Yeah.
In 1983, there was a woman named Vera Waldron was staying at a motel across from Disneyland. She saw a man with a rifle walk past her motel room. So she called down to the manager, and they called the police. The police got there. This guy was up on the roof with a rifle. He shot 13 shots at Disneyland. He didn't hit anybody, didn't do any major damage, and they were able to take him out. But yeah, it was there was a sniper at Disneyland. It's a story that didn't get a lot of news at the time, but certainly if it happened today, it would.
How do you not hit anybody at a place that's as packed as
Disney?
Disney?
Far enough Lee away, Harvey Oswald the rabbit.
Yeah.
Harvey Oswald the rabbit.
But thankfully, this woman Vera Waldron, cheers to her, because she's the reason that didn't get any worse.
Vera. Well, Vera is such a World War II name.
Yeah, it's in that Pink Floyd song too, from the Vera.
What else you got? I like that one.
The movie The Rescuers, someone on the animation team had snuck in 2 frames that they had cut out of a magazine, 2 images of a topless woman in the background of that film, and it stayed in the print of the film until the film went on VHS. When it was released on VHS, somebody slow-moed it, and Disney had to recall all of the tapes. But there was a topless woman from some men's magazine.
Don't we get to see Jessica Rabbit snatch when she comes out of the car for a second?
I mean, you don't anymore.
Snatch wasn't enough.
Jesus,
they painted it
in. You just made me spit on my computer. I was laughing.
That's it, though. Yeah, when she flies out of the car, when they put the dip on the ground, Betty the cab spins around, and
you can see it
out.
just for this one frame.
You paused it?
It's like it's like the Britney Spears paparazzi photo.
I only found out about it in my 30s, but yeah, I did. Yeah.
Wait, so I heard something like that, but I thought that was a myth. That there was actually, they've put in the frame. So did they ever find out who did that? Who put that in the movie?
No, because I mean, and when you watch it, it's a very old. It may have only been in the print that they used to master that VHS tape. But yeah, if you watch it, it clearly, just based on her hairstyle and the way everything looks, it clearly was from the 70s when the film was being released.
From
the
her
VHS.
hairstyle. Did the drapes meet the
I think it was just the top. It was just boobs.
Jessica Rabbit. It was very good.
I like these last 2 too. I think these are good too. The Nixon one. Oh, you can go ahead.
Oh yeah. So Nixon, when he gave his famous "I am not a crook" speech, he actually gave that at the Contemporary Hotel in Florida. Nixon just happened to be nearby, and he had a big in with the Disney company. He had been very good friends with Walt.
He was the president as well.
Yes.
He could get to the front of the line whenever he wanted.
He had some connections.
He knew some people.
I'll tell you a crazy story. Walt once kidnapped Richard Nixon when they were cutting the ribbon for the monorail. Well, Richard Nixon was the vice president of the United States. He was there to cut the ribbon. And then Secret Service was there with him on the platform. Walt showed him inside. He's like, this is how it's operated. And, they're chatting. And Secret Service is standing by to keep people from coming on the monorail. Then Walt says to Richard Nixon, do you want to go for a ride? And Nixon says, sure. So Walt closes the door and they take off, and Secret Service is left on the platform screaming, going, where does this thing get off? What's the other end of this monorail? So for a brief moment in time, Walt had kidnapped the vice president of the United States.
And that brings us to our next one. Richard Nixon's first hand job. Tell us about that.
It was on the People Mover.
They got around. One more. This is the last one, I think.
Oh, the Beatles. Yeah. The Beatles. The Beatles broke up officially. The paperwork that disbanded them legally was signed by John Lennon at the Polynesian Hotel. And this goes back to what we were talking about with the monorail. He was so sad after doing it that he said to his son, Julian, let's go up and ride on the monorail. And we'll ride up in the front. There was a driver of one of the monorails that had been letting them, ride every time in the front. And I think his name was Herb. And so they went upstairs and he said, it was like, is Herb working today? And they said, yeah, just wait. great, you know, and he waited on the platform, and then, you know, John Lennon got in there and took a ride in the front of the monorail to cheer himself up.
Wait a minute. Only Herb would do it.
You would think anybody would.
It's like the rest of us like, I like the Beatles, but rules are rules.
Plus, I heard you're breaking up.
Yeah, I'll let you on, John, but not the kid.
I think he liked Herb. I'm
not a softie like Herb.
Okay, I think we could talk all day about this. Obviously, there's so many things, but maybe we'll have you back on another time to talk about that.
I'd love to.
But Guy Hutchinson, the podcast is called Drunk on Disney. Please check that out. It's a very fun podcast, and his book Bibbity Boozity Book. I keep saying his book, and you have book at the end. So the Bibbity Boozity Book.
Bibbity Boozity Book.
Cocktail guide with Disney-themed drinks and toasts, and Sesame Place, the official book. Look for it on Amazon or in Walmart.
Just before you go, what is your favorite Disney ride, and what is your favorite Disney movie?
Well, I love the Carousel of Progress, but I'd say my favorite ride is probably Pirates of the Caribbean. And Disney movie, I love the Herbie the Love Bug movies, so probably the first Love Bug. But if we had to go with animated,
not the Lindsay Lohan, Michael Keaton.
Yeah, that's all right too. Yeah, that one's fun. You know. But if we had to go with an animated one, I love Alice in Wonderland.
I just watched that last weekend.
I like Pirates of the Caribbean too. I think that would be. I remember being as a kid.
My favorite ride, Indiana Jones.
That one's great.
That's a fucking great ride
for a modern ride.
And then in Disney World, it's fucking dinosaurs. It's the same ride.
It's the same ride. Yeah, no, they just redressed it.
There's no, it's just dinosaur world. Like fuck that. Put Indiana Jones. Give me the music.
I didn't do when I moved out here. I went to Disneyland. I did the Indiana Jones one. That one's great. When you go across that bridge, is really cool. And then
it breaks down all the time though.
But that's because they don't say this guy died on it. They don't say hello to him in the morning.
That's right.
But for the old school ones, the Pirates one, because I remember the guy's leg that's dangling and had hair. I remember even as a kid, just that attention to detail. He has hair on his leg. I knew he wasn't real, but it was like
I took my son on Pirates of the Caribbean when he was 2.
Yeah, that guy
terrified him.
It's none of the rides would be good when you're 2.
I once when Hank was very young, he just reached the height. We got to the front of the line for Space Mountain, and then I was like, "All right, let's go, Space Mountain!" And then this week we didn't go on a private thing. We'd queued up for an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'd queued up, and he's very
That's
little.
a scary one.
And he's like this, and then he got to the no, like that, right, like that, and I was like, get in the fucking seat. I strapped him in because I was just one of those dad moments where you're like, you'll be fine. You're buddy, be tough. Come on.
Yeah.
Terrified him.
Yeah, it was scary. When I was a kid, I would run out of the line of Space Mountain, and then my mom would do it, and I'd meet her at the end. Like I'd stand with whoever else I was with, my aunt or something. Yeah. All right. So Drunk on Disney is a podcast. Guy Hutchinson, thanks for being here again. Jim, any parting?
Oh, I'll come again next week.
Oh, that's good.
If you ever had a party, ladies and gentlemen, and you're standing around and some gobshite's going on like this, they're going, you know, the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, no one called George ever died there. No. You can say, well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, but you would say that because it's the haunted house.
No, it's Pirates of the Caribbean.
It's Pirates of the Caribbean. It's Pirates of the Caribbean.
I don't know about that,
Forrest.
I have it right here in my notes, and I got it wrong.
Good night, Australia.